IGNOU MSCZOO Project Dissertation for MZOP-001. If you are in the final semester of IGNOU's Master of Science in Zoology, this is the one course that decides whether your degree is awarded on time. It is also the course the internet gets most wrong. Start with 3 numbers. Most websites say the IGNOU MSCZOO project needs 40% to pass. It needs 50. They say the mark split is 70 and 30. It is 80 and 20. They say write 5 chapters. The official handbook asks for 7 to 8. Get those wrong and you can lose the session with good research. So the direct answer, MZOP-001. Dissertation/project work is the 4-credit research course in Semester 4 of IGNOU's Master of Science in Zoology under the School of Sciences. You carry out a small original research study under an approved supervisor and submit a written dissertation. It carries 100 marks, the report weighted at 80%, and the viva-voce at 20, and you need 50% to clear it. Every other course in MSCZOO is taught to you. This one you produce yourself. Here is MZOP-001 on one screen. 4 credits. Semester 4 only. 100 marks. Report 80%, Viva 20, 50% minimum, plagiarism under 10%, and a face-to-face Viva. Keep this screen. The roadmap, where MZOP-001 sits in the 80-credit MSCZOO structure, 9 official facts competitors get wrong. Who can legally supervise you? The annexures you must attach. Choosing a topic that finishes, a full worked example, the chapter structure, submission and deadlines, the viva, and career validity. First, the structure. You cannot plan the project properly until you can see exactly where it sits in the program. IGNOU MSCZOO, the Master of Science in Zoology, is an 80-credit program across 4 semesters, 20 courses, and every one is worth 4 credits. It sits in the School of Sciences. The medium is English. Duration is 24 to 48 months, and the fee is 20,000 rupees per year, with examination fees charged separately. The handbook breaks the program down precisely: 9 core courses, 6 electives including the whole entomology specialization, 4 laboratory courses, 1 per semester, attended in person, and 1 project course, MZOP-001. 9 plus 6 plus 4 plus 1 is 20 courses, and 20 courses at 4 credits each gives the 80 credits of the degree. Semester 3 brings biostatistics and bioinformatics, principles of ecology, immunology, research methodology, and lab course 3. Then semester 4, insect taxonomy and morphology, insect physiology and toxicology, applied entomology, lab course 4, and MZOP-001. So your project runs alongside 3 entomology papers and a mandatory lab course. It is the busiest semester of the program. Fate. The first trap, MZOL-004 and MZOP-001 are both 4 credits and both sit in semester 4, so students confuse them constantly. MZOL-004 is lab course 4. 20 prescribed experiments, 120 hours of laboratory training, and mandatory attendance at your study center. MZOP-001 is the opposite. 1 research question you choose yourself, no fixed hours, assessed by report plus viva. You must clear both. Here is something almost nobody tells. IGNOU MSCZOO students, MZO-009. Research methodology sits in semester 3, 1 semester before your project. Its official description says it teaches you to formulate a research problem, design strategies, use research tools, collect data, and analyze your findings. That is the syllabus of your dissertation. And MZO-006, Biostatistics and Bioinformatics, hands you the analysis toolkit. So treat semester 3 as project preparation. Now the part that will actually protect your marks. 9 facts from the official handbook that most pages on the internet state incorrectly. Fact 1. The most dangerous error circulating about this course. Most IGNOU postgraduate projects are cleared at 40%. MZOP-001 is not one of them. The handbook states that for successful completion of the dissertation/project work, a learner should secure a minimum of 50% marks. So a report scoring 42 out of 100 clears an MBA project and fails this one. Right to a distinction standard, not a pass standard. Fact 2. The split is 80 and 20, not 70 and 30. The handbook is explicit. The report carries 80% weightage and the viva-voce carries 20. Read that strategically. Your written document carries 4 times the weight of your viva. A brilliant presentation cannot rescue a thin report. Fact 3, and this one surprises people. In MBA and MCom, you submit a synopsis on a Proforma, wait for an approval number, then start work. The MZOP-001. Handbook works differently. Its annexures are a supervisor consent letter, a biodata format, and a supervisor certificate. There is no proposal approval Proforma in it. Your real gate is your supervisor's written consent. That said, some regional centers still ask for a written proposal, so confirm with yours and prepare one anyway. Fact 4. Your topic does not have to be narrowly zoological. The handbook says you may choose work related not only to zoology but to any branch of life sciences, and it names them: botany, microbiology, genetics, biotechnology, medical sciences, pharmacy, and ecology. That is a wider door than students realize. One caution: the official program page phrases it more narrowly, saying the topic should be on a theme of the program's zoology courses. So keep a visible zoological thread and confirm your topic with your supervisor. Fact 5. Generic IGNOU project pages hand you a 5-chapter skeleton borrowed from social science, the MZOP-001. Handbook says something different. Generally, an ideal report consists of 7 to 8 chapters, covering introduction, review of literature, research design and methodology, results with tables and figures, discussion, and conclusion. And it numbers them. Introduction is chapter 1, and results and discussion are chapters 4 and 5, as separate chapters. A. Fact 6. The viva must be face-to-face. The project evaluator conducts it at your regional center, program center or study center, on a date fixed by the coordinator, to judge your subject knowledge and your presentation and communication skills. And then the line that settles every argument online: viva-voce through phone, email, or teleconferencing is not allowed. Plan travel and leave for Viva Day. Fact 7, and this one quietly costs students a session. MZOP-001 behaves like an examination course, not a document you simply post. The handbook advises learners to pay the term-end examination fee for appearing in the TEE of the dissertation/project work. And on Viva Day, you must carry your IGNOU identity card and proof of payment of the fee for project work. So fill the TEE form with MZOP-001 on it, in the same cycle as your submission. Fact 8. The report does not go to your regional center. The handbook routes it to the Registrar, Student Evaluation Division, IGNOU, Maidan Garhi, New Delhi 1-10068. You send one bound copy of the original report plus a CD containing the soft copy in PDF format. Remember the division of labor. Your regional or study center handles the Viva. The Student Evaluation Division handles the report. Fact 9 in 2 parts. First, the code. It is MZOP-001, not MZOP-1, not MZO-P001. There is one oddity. The handbook itself prints the envelope label with a shorter form of the code. Copy the envelope label exactly as the handbook shows it, and use the full code everywhere else. Second, plagiarism. The handbook states the plagiarism level should not exceed 10%. That is your hard ceiling. Next, your supervisor. Get this wrong and nothing else you do will count. The handbook lists 4 categories of eligible supervisor. Route A is a person holding a postgraduate degree in any branch of life sciences, and it names them botany, zoology, microbiology, biotechnology, bioinformatics, biochemistry and environmental sciences, or in medical sciences, pharmacy or allied disciplines, with 2 years of research, teaching or industry experience. Note the wording. Industry experience counts, and the degree need not be in zoology. Route B is anyone holding a doctoral degree in those same disciplines, working in a university, college, institute, research organization, or industry. Route C is an approved IGNOU academic counselor at a learner support center, program center or study center for the Master of Science in Zoology program with relevant experience. And Route D is a faculty member of the discipline of life sciences at IGNOU headquarters. You only need to satisfy one of the 4. And here is the option most students never use. The handbook says full-time faculty members with specific expertise are available at IGNOU headquarters at Maidan Garhi, and that they may also give consent to supervise your dissertation on your request. It adds a realistic caveat. Only a limited number of trainees can be absorbed. But it costs 1 polite specific email to ask. Do it early in semester 3. 3 annexures run this course. Annexure 1 is your supervisor's written consent to guide you on MZOP-001. That is your real starting gate. Annexure 2 is the prescribed biodata format, and incomplete biodata stalls everything. Annexure 3 is the supervisor's certificate on official letterhead, duly signed, stating the time frame of supervision, and bound into your final report. Use the handbook's own formats, not a template from online. Now the decision that determines everything else. Your topic. 6 rules, all about feasibility rather than ambition. Keep a clear zoological thread an evaluator can see immediately. Choose a study site within about an hour of home. Prefer non-invasive observation over anything needing animal ethics clearance. Pick a design you can repeat weekly for 8 to 12 weeks. Make sure the data suits statistics you already know from MZOP-006, and narrow it until your title names a species group, a place, and a variable. 10 directions to start from. Butterfly or odonate diversity along an urban gradient, bird community structure around a wetland. Mosquito breeding habitat mapping in one municipal ward, zooplankton diversity in a pond across seasons, soil arthropod abundance under different land uses, stored grain insect pests in local go-downs, pollinator visitation rates on one crop, gut parasite prevalence in local livestock, fish diversity at a landing site, and human-wildlife interaction records around a protected boundary. These are directions, not titles. Let us make all of this concrete with one worked example, carried from title to conclusion. Here is the title. Diversity and abundance of butterfly species. Along an urban to peri-urban gradient in the Hebel-Jakar Lake Belt, Bengaluru, look at what it is doing. It names the taxon, butterflies. It names the variables, diversity and abundance. It names the gradient being compared. And it names one study area a student can physically reach every week. Taxon, variable, place, comparison. 4 objectives. 1. To prepare a checklist of butterfly species recorded across the study belt. 2. To compare species richness and abundance between urban and peri-urban sites. 3. To compute diversity indices for each site and test whether the difference is statistically significant. 4. To relate the observed patterns to habitat variables such as vegetation cover. Every objective is measurable, and everyone is answerable in 12 weeks. The methodology chapter in 6 lines. 3 fixed transects per zone, 6 in total. Pollard walk counts 500 meters per transect. Sampling weekly for 12 weeks between 9 and 11 in the morning so conditions stay comparable. Identification from standard field guides with photographs and no collection of specimens. Habitat variables recorded on every visit. And every raw data sheet reproduced in the appendix. Replicable, low cost, and it needs no animal ethics clearance. And here is where MZO-006 pays off. A species accumulation curve showing your sampling was adequate. Shannon-Weiner and Simpson diversity indices for each zone, evenness values compared between zones. A test of significance on mean abundance. Every finding is both a table and a captioned figure, because the handbook asks for findings in tabular and graphical form with proper figure captions. Then discussed against published studies. That step separates a 50% report from a 70%. Now the document itself, in the exact sequence the handbook prescribes. The handbook gives an explicit assembly order, title page, supervisor certificate on official letterhead, certificate of originality, acknowledgements, table of contents, abstract, your chapters in order, then references, and it adds a warning worth taking literally. Recheck that all required documents are arranged sequentially, because any incomplete report will not be considered for evaluation, not delayed, not returned, not considered. The title page is specified item by item. The title of your topic, your name, your enrollment number, your regional center and study center, the year, and your supervisor's name with detailed affiliations and email address. That last one catches people out. A bare name is not enough. The abstract has a defined length, 200 to 300 words, generally in 1 or 2 paragraphs, described as short and standalone. It must contain 4 things: the area studied, the objectives, the types of data collected, and the major inferences drawn from them. Standalone is the operative word. And write it last once your conclusions are final. Chapter 1 is the introduction, and the handbook says exactly what it must do. State the purpose of your study, introduce the research problem and the rationale, highlight the significance of the topic for investigation, and include the objectives of the study. So your objectives live in Chapter 1. A simple test. If a reader cannot state your research question after Chapter 1, rewrite Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is the review of literature, and it is not a list of summaries. Its job is to show the gap your study fills, and every claim must carry a citation that reappears in your reference list. Chapter 3 is research design and methodology, and it has 1 test. Could another zoologist repeat your work from this chapter alone? Give the study area, sampling design, period and frequency, tools and identification keys, and your statistical methods. Chapters 4 and 5 are results and discussion, and the handbook keeps them separate. Results carries your findings and the statistical analyses of your data, reported in tabular and graphical form with proper figure captions. So no walls of prose where a table belongs. Discussion is where those findings are discussed and compared in the light of existing or previous research studies. Results says what you found. Discussion says what it means. Merging them is the commonest structural mistake here. Then the conclusion. The handbook asks you to conclude the findings of your research. In practice, a direct answer to each objective from Chapter 1, honest limitations, and a line on scope for further work. Then references. 1 consistent style, every in-text citation present in the list, and every listed source actually cited. Appendices carry raw datasheets, permissions, and photographs. For universal formatting rules, see our IGNOU project format video. One rule deserves its own screen. The handbook states the plagiarism level should not exceed 10%. 3 consequences: paraphrase and cite rather than lifting sentences from papers. Never buy or reuse a ready-made report. Beyond the ethics, a purchased dissertation cannot survive a face-to-face viva, where an evaluator asks how you chose your sampling interval, and run a similarity check before you bind, not after. The handbook stresses ethical research practice throughout, and in zoology that is not abstract. Prefer observation and photography over capture wherever possible. Never sample inside a protected area without written permission from the forest department. Route any vertebrate experimentation through your institution's ethics committee before you begin. Take informed consent before interviewing farmers, fishers, or herders. Report negative results honestly. And acknowledge everyone who helped, stating what each person actually did. And now the last mile: submission, deadlines, and the viva. What you actually send: 1 bound copy of the original project report, 1 CD with the soft copy in PDF format, an envelope labeled as the handbook specifies. And the handbook tells you to make 3 copies in total: 1 for your supervisor, 1 for yourself, and 1 submitted at IGNOU headquarters. Keep your own copy carefully. You will need it at the viva. The address, exactly as printed: the Registrar, Student Evaluation Division, Indira Gandhi National Open University, Maidan Garhi, New Delhi 110068. And the envelope label matters more than students think. The handbook asks you to mention the course name on top of the envelope, because that is how the Student Evaluation Division sorts reports arriving for dozens of programs. On timing, let me be precise. The handbook gives report submission deadlines admission cycle-wise in its Table 1.1 and a separate date range for the viva-voce in Table 1.2. Those tables are the authority for your session, so read them in your own copy and confirm with your regional center. The rest is clear. Pay the term-end examination fee for MZOP-001 in the same cycle, carry your IGNOU identity card and proof of payment to the viva, and work backwards from your deadline. So how does the viva run? Your program or study center intimates you well in time. The coordinator fixes the date, the project evaluator conducts it, and it happens face-to-face at your regional, program, or study center. The evaluator judges 2 things: subject knowledge related to your project and your presentation and communication skills. Carry a copy of your report, because you will be asked to turn to specific pages. 10 questions to rehearse aloud, each answer under 90 seconds. Why did you choose this topic? State your objectives without reading them. Why this study area? Justify your sampling design and interval. How did you identify your specimens? Which diversity index did you use, and why? What does your main table show? Which published study does your finding agree with? What are your limitations? And what would you do differently with another 6 months? Before we close, the question students actually search for. Is the IGNOU MSCZOO degree valid? Yes. IGNOU is a central university and its degrees are recognized on the same footing as those of any other recognized Indian university. In practice, MSCZOO graduates commonly appear for national eligibility tests and apply for PhD admission. One caveat: always read the specific eligibility wording of the exam or post you apply for. And remember, it is MZOP-001 that makes this a master's degree. Where do MSCZOO graduates go? The handbook lists assistant professor, school teacher, project assistant, technical assistant, scientist, wildlife biologist, conservationist, and animal breeder. The program page adds that it helps in-service teachers move to PGT posts and laboratory technicians in colleges and research laboratories. We keep this qualitative deliberately. Anyone quoting you guaranteed salaries for a distance MSc is guessing. 10 mistakes that cost marks here. Aiming for 40% when the pass mark is 50. Writing 5 chapters instead of 7 to 8. Merging results and discussion. Collecting data with no supervisor consent letter on file. A certificate with no time frame or no letterhead. Pros where the handbook asks for tables. Forgetting the term-end examination fee. Posting the report to your regional center instead of the SED, an unlabeled envelope. And assuming the Viva can be online. Now the question students actually type. How many credits is MZOP-001? 4 credits in semester 4. Every course in MSCZOO is 4 credits, so the project is not weighted more heavily than a theory paper, but it is the only one you produce yourself. Do I need to submit a synopsis for approval? The handbook's annexures are a consent letter, a biodata format, and a supervisor certificate. There is no proposal approval Proforma. Confirm with your regional center and prepare a proposal anyway. Can my topic be in botany or microbiology? The handbook says you may choose work in any branch of life sciences, naming botany, microbiology, genetics, biotechnology, medical sciences, pharmacy, and ecology. Keep a visible zoological thread and clear it with your supervisor. Is there a Viva, and can it be online? Yes, worth 20%. Conducted face-to-face at your regional program or study center. Phone, email, and teleconferencing are expressly not allowed. Recap in 9 rules. 4 credits, semester 4, 50% to pass. Report 80, Viva 20. Supervisor consent before anything else. 7 to 8 chapters. Plagiarism under 10%. 1 bound copy plus a CD. Sent to the Registrar, Student Evaluation Division, Maidan Garhi, and a face-to-face Viva. Get the supervisor and the structure right, and MZOP-001 becomes steady, ordinary work. So where do you go from here? The full written IGNOU MSCZOO project guide sits on IGNOUproject.com. For MZOP-001 topic or dissertation guidance, message us on WhatsApp at +91 935 46 37830. This channel also has dedicated guides on the IGNOU synopsis, project format, submission routes, choosing a supervisor, and the viva-voce, which is why we have not repeated them here. Subscribe to Shri Chakradhar Education for the rest of the series, and confirm your current figures on ignou.ac.in and with your own regional center. This has been BK Sakni from IGNOUproject.com.